Hi scholars! It's Ms. Rosa, and I'm so excited you're here today. Before we begin our reading lesson, I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful skills good readers use. It's called making inferences. So, what does it mean to make an inference? Making an inference means using clues from the text plus what you already know to figure out something the author doesn't say directly. It's like being a reading detective. You look for clues in the words, the pictures, the characters' actions, and even the setting. Then, you use your background knowledge to make a smart guess about what's happening. For example, if the story says Sam put on his raincoat and grabbed an umbrella, the author never tells us it's raining. But you can infer that it probably is. Good readers make inferences to understand characters' feelings, why something happened, what might happen next, the meaning behind the author's clues. When you make inferences, you read deeper, think harder, and understand the story in a whole new way. Now, I want you to watch a short video about making inferences. Are you ready, my amazing detectives? Let's get started.
Hi, super readers. Today, you're joining the Story Detective Squad. We're learning how to make inferences. That means using clues in the story plus what you already know. That means using clues in the story plus what you already know to figure out something the author doesn't say directly. When you infer, you make a smart guess using clues from the text and your own knowledge. It's like solving a mystery. The author leaves hints, and you figure out what's happening. A girl walks into her classroom with her head down, shoulders slumped, and eyes watery. She puts a paper face down on her desk. Other students look at her with concern. The story doesn't say how the girl is feeling, but let's use clues to infer. Clues: head down, eyes watery, paper face down, kids looking worried. From these clues, we can infer she might be sad or disappointed. Maybe she didn't do well on her assignment. That's inferring! The author didn't tell us directly, but we figured it out by reading the clues. To make great inferences, ask yourself these questions. What clues do I see or read? What do the characters' actions or expressions tell me? What do I already know that can help me understand? What might the author want me to figure out on my own? Remember, an inference equals text clues plus what I already know. Here's a quick one. We see a boy in a raincoat with an umbrella. Can you infer what the weather is about to be? Yes, it's probably going to rain. Imagine a cat sitting by a window, tail twitching, eyes fixed outside. We don't see a bird, but we can infer the cat sees something interesting. A chef tastes a soup and frowns, then adds a pinch of salt. We can infer the soup needed more seasoning to taste better. A student is packing a backpack with books, a lunchbox, and a soccer ball. We can infer the student is preparing for a day at school and soccer practice. A character nervously taps their foot while waiting for an important phone call. We can infer they are anxious about the news they might receive. A garden is full of wilted flowers, and the soil is dry and cracked. We can infer the garden needs water and care to thrive again. A child is wearing a superhero cape and running around the yard. We can infer the child is pretending to be a superhero and having fun. A person is shivering and wrapping a blanket around themselves. We can infer they are feeling cold and trying to warm up. Great work, story detectives! Keep using clues and your brain power. Keep using clues and your brain power to make smart inferences in every story you read.
Great job today, readers. Keep practicing, keep thinking, and keep being amazing readers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more reading adventures. See you next time.